The LA Stars came into the day tied with Philadelphia and Louisville with the best record in the league at 6-1. They looked like the best team in the league in the first quarter of this game. Terrific drive right out of the chute by the LA Stars and the former Pro Bowl running back of the 1990 season right before Terrell Davis in Bobby Humphrey. He was marvelous, especially on this opening drive as he's in for the score and LA takes the early lead. After a punt from San Francisco, Humphrey does it again with the exact same play call, a pitch to the left side. How about a raise for the offensive coordinator too as Humphrey slips right through the defense and puts him into field goal range. And then Sims does the rest himself with this big play to Irvin, and Humphrey is in for the touchdown. LA jumps out to a massive lead led by the duo of Irvin and Humphrey, but they wouldn't go away. Dave Meggett was a teammate with Sims and the Super Bowl champion Giants. Anderson caps off the drive with a field goal, but LA still has a massive lead before James Jett gets by the defense with this second quarter touchdown. Our score is 14-10. But LA would respond in the second half as Phil Sims would get it going through the air. And he's got three incredible targets in the receiving game. Michael Irvin, of course, the Hall of Famer, Henry Ellard, and then we would see him a bit later, Phil Sims to Keith Byers, the fullback, who has had an incredible year in the receiving game for Phil Sims, but that would result in no points. A missed field goal there from David Treadwell, who has missed 7 field goals this year. It's been rough for him. Irvin gets involved for LA here late in the third quarter, and Sims would keep on featuring him along with Henry Ellard, who is in for the big touchdown, his 7th of the season, and LA would take this huge 2-score lead. And then Deion Sanders would all but wrap it up for Los Angeles. They look like the best team in the whole league, and they're acting like it in the middle of this year. They're 7-1 this season. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Sharks dropped to 3-5. And for good measure, Phil Sims tosses his 21st touchdown of the season as he finds his man Michael Irvin. 28-17 was the final score as Don Majowski, his 4th down pass is dropped. LA improves to 7-1, and they are rolling right now.
The Rattlers are trying to get back into the win column as the Vegas Gamblers won last week. They're trying to make it 2 straight. Bernie Kosar comes back from injury, and he's feeling the burn, throwing it deep down the right side to his Hall of Fame receiver, Chris Carter, and he could go all the way for the touchdown, and he does. 7-0 Dallas. Next drive for the Rattlers. Bernie Kosar throws it this time to the left side to Curtis Duncan, and he will dunk the ball into the end zone for the touchdown. Dallas making it easy, 14-0. First drive where they're doing something here for the Gamblers. Cleveland Gary gets the ball over the middle, switches field, and guys are falling at his feet. He gets it to around the 22-yard line, and Chris Miller throws it over the middle to Ricky Sanders, and Ricky Sanders has the touchdown, making it a 7-point deficit. David Little sacks Bernie Kosar, and then Hampton is safetied. It's 14-9. Big play here for the Gamblers. Rodney Holman would get the ball to the 40 after Bernie Kosar feels the burn and then throws it over the middle to John Von Jovi, and Rodney Hampton would add the touchdown after that big game by John Vaughn. Mike Rozier with the handoff down the left side. He's tackled inside Dallas territory. It's 21-9. And then Chris Miller throws it over the middle to a wide open Cleveland Gary, who's waiting in the end zone. The score would be 21-16 this time. Celebrate there, Chris Miller. We have a punt here for the Dallas Rattlers, and Klaus Wilmsmeyer he should be punting, but he's not, and he ends up getting sacked as a turnover on downs. That's a big break for the Gamblers, but Chris Miller is sacked by Johnny Holland, and this would lead to a Steve Christie made field goal, 2-point ball game. Henry Rolling, Neil Smith will sack Chris Miller, and then Henry Rolling would safety Chris Miller. Score is 23-19. It's a 4-point ball game. John Von Jovi, he's feeling the burn. He's catching the ball over the middle to the 41-yard line, and then Kevin Butler adds the field goal. It's 26-19, 7-point ball game. Chris Carter gets back in on the action. It was a high-flying affair for the Rattlers. And then Rodney Holman would get the ball down the right side. He adds his own touchdown. It seems like almost everyone's scoring a touchdown here for Dallas. Shovel pass to Cleveland Gary. It's a fumble recovered by the Rattlers. 4th down in the shadow of his own end zone, and Chris Miller throws incomplete to Keith Jackson, and then Rodney Hampton would add a touchdown, 40-19. This seems like an insurmountable lead. I don't think the Gamblers will be able to come back in this one, as Drew Hill catches the ball down the right side. Cleveland Gary adds the touchdown, 40-26. Bernie Kosar throws it down the right side again, diving Chris Carter, and then a play action, roll out, bootleg, Kosar to John Bon Jovi, and John Bon Jovi's got the touchdown, 47-26. It's a 21-point ball game. Chris Miller trying to get more points, trying to make this more respectable, throws it over the middle to Mike Rozier. Mike Rozier gets it inside Dallas territory, and then we've got the ball inside the 40, play action rollout bootleg to the left this time for Miller, giving it to Keith Jackson. And Keith Jackson, he's got the touchdown. It seems like those faster guys couldn't catch that slower guy there. Onside kick, and the Gamblers will recover it. We got about a minute left to get 2 touchdowns for the Gamblers. Chris Miller would take the shotgun snap, throw it over the middle to Ricky Sanders. Ricky Sanders gets it to around the 25-yard line in 40 seconds. Drew Hill's got the touchdown, and Dallas only has a 7-point advantage. Onside kick, and again, the Gamblers recover it. They're making gambles here. Last-ditch effort, no time on the clock. Drew Hill catches the ball over the middle. Will the Gamblers do something? No, they won't. As Dallas wins 47-40, both teams are 3-5 after this amazing game shootout.
Today, the Boise Colts is visiting the Atlanta Fire, where Ickey Woods is returning from injury. Boomer Esiason is looking for an opening drive as he passes, gets nearly sacked, but it was complete by James Brooks. Breaks a tackle, gets right through for the touchdown. Atlanta Fire takes the early lead. The following play, Jeff Hosteller is looking for a pass, completes it to Colts, gets past the 40. He just stopped, but it's fumbled by the Atlanta Fire, and it's recovered by Rod Sattler. In the following play, Boomer Esiason tries to get the ball to James Brooks, but forces a fumble by Mike Singletary as he gets stopped by midfield. The Colts are looking to redeem themselves after the turnover that they caused, where Jeff Hosteller passes the ball to Herman Moore, completes it. Then you have Lassick, runs right through, touchdown. The NFL wasn't able to do anything, so the Colts takes over once again. This time makes the dive catch, but they settle for a field goal. Finally, they got the ball. Boomer Esiason is looking for a pass. He throws, completes it, but it was to the wrong person. What a bonehead! But the Boise Colts pitches it off to Derek Lassick, runs right through, jukes another defender, gets through, stops short, and unfortunately the Atlanta Fire defense stepped up and it settled to a field goal. Atlanta Fire wasn't able to do anything, so the Colts quarterback throws, completes it wide open, but Derek Lassick finished it for the touchdown. Boomer Esiason is looking for a pass with a play action, runs to the left side of the field, rainbows it all the way across midfield, wide open to Johnson, Vance Johnson, as he stopped on the 12-yard line. Boise Colts defense stepped up, and it turns out to be a field goal. So not long after, Brooks runs right through, gets the pitch, plows right through, cross midfield, gets stopped actually right across midfield, but breaks the tackle as he's still going. Get off of me! As they lost a few yards for the following play, Boomer Esiason throws wide open, but it was intercepted, never mind, by Chris Dishman once again. The Boise Colts takes over after the turnover as he bullets wide open. Touchdown, Boise Colts. Jeff Hosteller with another impressive pass play. Boomer Esiason backs away, looks for a pass, almost gets sacked, wide open to Page. Who on earth is Page? I don't know, but what an impressive catch. But unfortunately, the point was no good as they attempt an onside kick, but failed, and the Boise Colts takes the victory 34-16. It was a hard-fought battle by the Atlanta Fire, but unfortunately, it's not enough as the Boise Colts takes another W, moving on to next week.
Birmingham Rebels and the Phoenix Scorpions. Jim Kelly and Birmingham starting off the game with a deep pass to Andre Reed to right around midfield. Later in the drive, Kelly back to pass again. Looks like he's going to take off throws across the middle to Thurman Thomas. He gets it all the way to the 10-yard line on the next play. Touchdown, Sean Dawkins. Birmingham goes up 7-0. Bono and the Phoenix team trying to rebound here with a deep pass to Tim Brown. Makes the catch into the red zone. Bono back to pass again. He's got time, feels the pressure. Goes deep to Tim Brown in the corner where it is intercepted. And that drive comes up with no points. Very disappointing if you're Phoenix. Later on the next Birmingham drive, a deep pass to Newsome. Nobody's in the frame, but he does get chased down after a while down to the 10-yard line. That drive will settle for 3, putting them up 10-0. Trying to stop the bleeding here. Phoenix and Bono back to pass. Feels the pressure, goes deep to Brown again. This time he connects around the 40-yard line. He will go all the way to the 5-yard line. 3-2-1 touchdown. Tim Brown bringing the lead down to just 3 as Phoenix looks to stay pace with Birmingham. A quick dump-off pass to Thurman Thomas as he gets down to the 40-yard line. Then he runs left on the next play, makes 1, 2, count them, 3 guys miss, and he is down the sideline to the 10-yard line. Later in that drive, a touchdown to Thurman Thomas. On a deep punt here, let's see, he just booms it here. Robbie will down to around the 10-yard line where Dykes will eventually field it, and he gets to about the 20, and it's a fumble. Ball's on the turf. It is recovered by the Scorpions, and Mark Jackson will rumble into the end zone. Touchdown, Mark Jackson, leading the score to 14-17. Phoenix still hanging around. Jim Kelly with a deep pass to Thurman Thomas. They just didn't catch him out of the backfield. He has time to dive, catch this ball on the ground, get up, and still score a touchdown, extending the lead for the Rebels 24-14. Bono using his legs trying to make things happen, and it's a fumble recovered by the Rebels. Joe Kelly is the one that falls on that. Really a chance to break this one wide open for Jim Kelly and the rest of his team. Andre Reed with a curl route makes a guy miss down inside the red zone. A quick dump off to Thomas, and he just goes to work inside. Makes a lot of guys miss and gets into the end zone for another touchdown on the day. Rebels up 31-14 as his day is not done. You see another big run here, and then Kelly with room to work goes to the line of scrimmage, pass to the middle of the field for Andre Reed, down to the 20-yard line. Kelly back to pass again, finds Thomas on a dump-off route, and yet another touchdown for Thurman Thomas. He cannot be stopped today as Phoenix trying to stop the bleeding here, down big, 38-14, deep down the field to Tim Brown as he makes the diving catch, but that drive will later have a sack by Russell Maryland, back-to-back sacks actually, with about 5 minutes left to go here. Phoenix trying to climb back into this one, deep over the middle to Jackson. It is knocked away, and that is where we leave you. Birmingham with the big win today, 38-14.
Denver Buffaloes, losers of 5, play the Portland Snowhawks. A Bear gets benched for Jay Schrader for poor performances. Christian Okoye comes back, but because of a glitch in Tecmo Super Bowl, when a player comes back from injury, the bench player comes back. We'll say it was a illness, as A Bear makes a good impression early, throwing it to Willie Davis for the touchdown. Next drive for the Snowhawks, Ernest Givens, all the Givens he could get. The favorite receiver of Troy Aikman gets the touchdown. It's a tied ball game. Christian Okoye coming off from a long injury. The Nigerian Nightmare gets the ball to around the 30-yard line, and after the drive stalls, Fuad Reves adds a field goal. It is 10-7. 3-point ball game. Mark Logan takes the handoff. He tries to get tricky, but he fumbles, recovered by John Copeland, and Bobby A. Bear will finish this off, throwing it over the middle to a wide open Keith McKellar. It's a 10-point ball game. Troy Aikman trying not to fall to one of the worst teams in the BTFL Season 2. Throws it over the middle to Ernest Givens. All the Givens he could get, his favorite receiver. After the drive stalls, Eddie Murray adds a field goal. A Bear in the shadow of his own end zone throws it down the left side to Willie Davis as he escapes defenders down to around the 31-yard line. But Ron Wolfley would get the handoff. He would fumble, recovered by the Snowhawks, and they would get to around the 42-yard line. Troy Aikman would hang back there, throwing it over the middle to Ernest Givens. All the Givens he could get. He's got his second touchdown of the game. Next drive for the Snowhawks. They get the ball back. Mark Logan tries to make up for that fumble he made in the first quarter, getting it to around midfield, and Ernest Givens would get more passes over the middle, and after the drive stalls, the Snowhawks would add a field goal. They take their first lead of the game. More points, more catches for Ernest Givens. And I think this is it right here. Stepping up into the pocket, throwing it over the middle. Third touchdown of the game for Ernest Givens. All the Givens he could get. And more to stack on for Troy Aikman. Alvin Harper joins the touchdown parade as it's 33-17 after this blocked extra point. First blocked extra point of the BTFL season. Somebody help Bobby Hebert out as Ron Wolfley fumbles for the second time. Recovered by Cuckoo Kachu, Eugene Robinson. And Portland wins easily 53-24. They're 5-3. Buffaloes are 2-6.